Hi friends! Welcome back to Connerty Meadows Farm for those of you that have been here before, and for anyone new, welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Ricky, and today I am just going to quickly run through the garden so you can see what's happening at the beginning of the season, and then as I do tours through the season you'll be able to see the progression. So there have been some things that have changed since the fall of last season, and I'll flip you around and I'll show you around. Here we have our row of blueberries. Now many of these blueberries were purchased on clearance last year at the end of the season for $1 or $2, just depending. And as I had stated at the end of the season, I wasn't sure if that one was going to make it, and it didn't. So that's all right. I do have more on order. So let's have a look over here. Now in these pots are unfortunately my asparagus. Over here are my 3 asparagus beds, and last year a mole or a vole got into them through the season and kind of cut back on many of what I had in there. Unfortunately, when this season started, only a handful of asparagus popped up, and so I dug up all the strawberries and put them in pots, and I dug up the asparagus and potted them up. What you see here with these stakes is I'm going to be building some above ground garden beds that I can actually line with wire so that the moles and voles can't get into them. So there's going to be a bed here, a little walkway, and another bed there. And we've spent the last couple days in the bush cutting down the trees and stripping them all. So that's what's going to be happening there. These guys will go back into the beds, and then I have more asparagus on order. This little strawberry bed that we built last year is doing really, really well, and hopefully we're going to get lots of strawberries out of it. I think it's starting to look really great. A couple of the blueberry bushes are starting to set flowers, so we will get a few blueberries anyway. All right, let's have a peek at the side of the house here. This is my rose bush I brought with us from our old farm. There were some dead pieces there, cut them back. The rest of it's doing really good. And the front of the house, so these are very, very cool. This is my beautiful, they call them black tulips, but they're very, very dark purple. And my peonies that we brought with us from our old farm look like I'm going to get lots of flowers, which is normal. They say 3 years after transplanting, so this is our 3rd summer on this farm. So there we are. Oh, I want to show you guys this. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Every spring this little one shows up and builds a nest. We never knock it down. Sometimes it falls down through the winter, but there she is, and we'll watch her raise them all summer long. It's beautiful. This rose bush is coming along. I do have to trim the grass, but in here on the front yard, so you can see there's lots of dandelions and the grass is very unruly. We don't cut this until I bring the goats in so that the goats can have a day of cleaning the lawn. So that's why it looks very unruly right now. I have some plants out here. I have some stuff in the greenhouse. This bed isn't planted yet. And then this bed, I have thyme planted, and over here I have chamomile planted. So everything up here looks really good. Now I'm going to show you the front of the house, which has actually changed considerably. I'll do a quick pan here, and then I'll take you up close. This is our spiral herb garden for those of you that have not seen it before. I actually have a video on how to build this, and I can put the link in the description box below. But this all has all sorts of herbs from like cilantro and basil and summer savory, rosemary, thyme, oregano, parsley. That was built by us using rocks here on the farm. This bed here is a new bed, and I just constructed this earlier this spring, and it has flowers in it, and there will be dahlias in the middle of it when the weather warms up a bit. And this we just constructed, and I'll put the link for the video for it below. It's my beautiful arbor, and I want to show you guys this, my chandelier. So believe it or not, I was visiting our local secondhand store, and this chandelier was out in the dumpster because the wiring was not safe. But I actually didn't want it for the wiring, I wanted it for display, so they were able to let me have it for a small donation. And then down here on the bottom we have a grape and another grape, and then a climbing rose. So these will be able to crawl all the way up the top, and then it's a repeat on the other side as well. And the tulips are all showing off. There we go. And then in these pots here are the strawberries that I dug up that were in with the asparagus. They will go back on the asparagus bed once we get that done. So again, a grape, a rose, and another grape. And then this bed here is catnip, mint, and lemon balm. And then this bed here is also a new bed, and again, this is all going to be cut flowers. In the middle will be dahlias, more strawberries, and again more strawberries. And then this is also a flower bed. I have to finish cleaning it up and planting it down. So the front has changed quite a bit. We now have a focal point in our yard. And again, don't mind the overgrowing of grass and stuff. This is all going to be goat food. Down here on each end, so I have a lavender plant over here, and then this is lilac. And then these little bushes here are kind of like a wild rose. They're a Rogatia rose. We got them from Hardy Fruit Tree Nurseries a couple years ago, and they tend to send off lots of little shoots. So this little guy here is a shoot, and my hope is eventually that this will all be a hedge of roses and lilacs. So I have a dark purple lilac here, and then more roses, more roses, more roses. Looks like they've got some I have to trim back. And then another light purple lilac here, and a lavender on the end. I also have a snowball bush here, and then the same thing over there, and 2 pear trees. So that's what the front looks like. And then we'll pop over to the garden over there and show you what's going on over there. This is our garden over here. So I have an in-ground garden. We have another pergola or arbor, and then I have my raised bed gardens, and we'll do some of those up close. But here is the apple orchard. So over here, hey Sylvester, hi buddy, we have our strawberries, and these guys are the June bearing, as I'm sure you can see, lots of flowers, and these guys are the everbearings. And then the in-ground garden hasn't been tilled up yet. Yes, our beehives are there. There's no bees in them. Unfortunately, like many other folks, we lost our bees this winter. Oh, but look at this big guy. Working hard. We like to see that. That's why we are not in a hurry to cut down any of these dandelions, as unsightly as they are. So this is our raspberries here, and then we have a pergola, and in the middle, we haven't put it up yet, but we have a solar chandelier that goes in the middle, and some more raspberries, and some more raspberries, and then these are our raised bed gardens. We do have some stuff already planted and growing. All the cold hardy crops stuff are planted. I spray painted some of my trellises blue this year, and I had this bird bath that came with us from our old farm, and it was all rusty too, so I sprayed it to match. I think it looks pretty good. So here we go. You can see the raised beds, and much of them, like I said, are already planted. Just waiting to get the tomatoes and the peppers in, but that won't be until June because they don't do very well in the cold. I've been spending time painting the chicken coop. So I have the backside here to finish, and of course I have the other 2 chicken coops to do, but I'm really liking the green. It kind of blends into the grass, and I really like how that looks. Over here, this used to be Haskaps, but I have since moved them, and we have dug everything up, refreshed the soil, and this is prepped and ready to go for raspberries. I have some new raspberry plants on order, and they will be going in this section here. All right, let's pop around to in front of the chicken coops. Let's just see the garden here. Lots of stuff going on in there. They are calling for a thunderstorm, so thought I'd pop out here quickly first. Swing you around. So in here's our garlic. I have to come and whippersnip beside it, but we have some garlic in here. This is a hop plant. Some sunflowers in here. This is comfrey. And then over here we had all blackberries. Unfortunately, none of them made it through the winter, which was really upsetting. So I'm gonna have to go on the hunt to try to find some more. I was pretty sad they didn't make it. And this garlic bed, the chickens got out and decided that digging it all up and eating it was great fun. So I do have some garlic, but as you can see, it's pretty sparse in there, unfortunately. All right, I'll pull you around, and I'm gonna take you up between the apple trees. Oh, Sylvester, what are you doing, bud? Hi, buddy. Hey. Hey, good boy. All right, let's pop up. We're gonna head over there. All right, so some of these Haskaps, also called honeyberries, where the new raspberry bed is. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Haskaps, you need a male and a female. So I've actually staggered with a female, a male, a female, a male, and so on and so forth. Now, where there are stakes in the ground, I have 15 more of these on order, and where there are stakes in the ground, there will be more of them, and I will be laying down this black fabric barrier. This allows the water to go through, but not the weeds to come up. And if you look over on this side, I've got one there and a stake, and a there and a stake. So these are actually the males, and I was able to get them at the end of the season on clearance last year. And so I've just ordered in the females of them, and they will be coming this coming week. And I will be repeating what I've done over here with the fabric barrier on this side as well. Just a smidge on Haskaps. They look like a blueberry that someone has taken and just pulled and made it long. So they're like about yay long, and they'll be the same color as a blueberry, and they taste kind of like a cross between a blueberry and a raspberry. Can be very, very tart. Now, a lot of people think just like a blueberry, when they turn blue, they're ready to eat. But Haskaps actually turn blue very early on in their cycle. And the inside of them will stay like a white or a green color. They'll be super tart and really inedible at that point. Haskaps are not edible until the inside of them goes purpley or pinky. And generally, the way you know a Haskap is ready is if you shake the plant, they'll fall down. And you don't even need to shake it vigorously, just a very light shaking, and they'll all fall to the ground. That's how you know Haskaps are ready. They're very, very good for you. They're one of the plants that they call a superfood because that bright purple color in them. So they're also, Haskaps are super, super cold hardy. So they were developed, most of these varieties that I have here were developed in the University of Saskatchewan. So really, really good for cold prairie weather, lots of snow, awful winters. These guys are used to it and ready for it. And the mosquitoes are coming out like crazy because a thunderstorm is coming. Oh, this little guy here is also an addition. Ooh, and you might not have heard a thing I said because he was on the microphone. This little guy here is also a new addition. This is Ash, and we got him and his sister Nala from my sister's farm. We needed a few more hunters here on the farm, so thanks to the local spay and neuter clinic, we got them spayed, so no kitties, which kind of sucks, but we get lots of snuggles from him either way. All right, so let's pop over and I'll just show you what the plan is for the garden, and I'll introduce you to a couple of the new animals we have as well besides the cat. I forgot to show you guys this. Some of you might remember I had purchased a winter kiwi last year, and look, it's alive. So this is Isa. I know I'm not saying it right. I'll put the lettering below here. Kiwi, and it's cold hardy. This particular kind of kiwi that's cold hardy does not require a male and a female pollinator. It could be alone, but I did get two, and this one's good too. The plan is that they will climb up and over the arbor. Originally, I had on these 4 middle posts, here, here, there, and there, I had grapes, but they didn't do so well because the raspberries got so big. So those grapes have actually been moved to the front arbor up there. Although I have left a grape here and a grape here, and we'll see how they do. They may have to be moved as well. The raspberries just became super, super vigorous. All right, so for the garden, last year I had the beans on this side and the tomatoes on that side, and this year we'll do a swap. So the beans will be on that side and the tomatoes will be on this side, and then everything in the middle will also do a swap. I like to make sure that I don't put the same thing in the same area twice in the in-ground garden. Although that said, I do not worry so much about that in the raised bed garden. Now these are our outdoor rabbit hutches. What I really love about them is the poop comes down to the bottom, and then I scoop this poop off and it'll go on the raised beds or in the in-ground or around any plants that need it. It's lovely. But this little girl has something back here to show you. You ready? Can you see? Do you know what that is? They're at the stage. Oh, how cute are they? There's a few more of them in there, sleeping away. How cute is that? Good girl, Mama. Let her smell that she knows I touched her babies. She's gotten some really cool coloring lately. And look, if you can see down there, that apple tree is starting to bloom. And so right now, I have the goats and the sheep fencing, kind of separating the horse field at the moment. And the reason for that is we have a new addition over there. Hi, Red! That's kind of down in the gully, so I'm going to get up closer and show you. Oh, goat's going out. Hi, Red girl. You coming to say hello? Fly mask is falling apart, honey. For those of you that are wondering what this is, it's a fly sheet, and it helps just keep the majority of the bugs off her. Poor Red gets really big welts on her, and it's not very comfortable. So, there we go. What are they looking at in that field? What do you guys see down there? Do you see a new addition from the last videos of farm tours? Oh, there we go. This is Freya. And Freya's a Belfair cow, which essentially just means that she's a Jersey Dexter cross. And she's our milk cow. And her calf, I think, is hanging out in one of the hutches there. So we missed having our Jersey. For the milk, we make our own cheese, we make our own yogurt, we make our own ice cream. We make lots of different things. And so we wanted to get a cow again. But Jerseys can have quite a few health issues. So getting one that had a little beef cow, that was a small beef cow, hopefully has eliminated some of those health issues. Hi, Red. And I wanted these two to meet a little closer than the fence that they did, because the last cow we had, Red really didn't like. But so far we've had no issues with these two. Hey, Freya. So Freya came to us. She wasn't a milk cow. She'd never been milked until we got her. And she's been a good girl. And we do have a video on milking her and training her and all of that you can check out on our page. And there's her calf. Hard to tell it from the goats, but there's her calf. That's Calypso, the calf. And we do have one baby goat so far. We have a few others too. They would really like to go in, I think. I don't have anything for you guys. Relax. Oh, you're all fine. You're all fine. And there's my old girl Alice still. So yeah, there's our newest addition. All right, guys, so that was short and sweet. I don't have time to go through the rest of it. I can hear the rain just over there. It's gonna be coming this way, and I gotta get this camera away and head in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us on the farm. We'll see you next time. I found Nala. Thought you guys would like to meet her. She's hilarious. You say her name and she just dives right over and wants some scritches. Come here, kitty. It's another cuddler, just like her brother. Taking her to the barn.